Hi. Hi, Robbie. Robby. Hi. Remember me? It's Bedell. Wow. I'm so proud of you. I'm honored that I get to talk to you right now because I can't believe how time has flown by and that you've graduated with honors. I'm very, very proud of you. And it's just so cool that I remember the day I met you. I thought this kid could go to college. This is a smart one here. And I don't know if you know this, but I had 3 daughters, and we went to Willow Creek in South Barrington, and all 3 of my daughters were in Impact and Elevate and on after that. And one day they came home and they talked about their leader, Tony, and he had a little boy, a baby, and we were all supposed to pray for him because there were complications. And I remember doing that and thinking about, hoping everything would go well, not knowing any details. And then the kids eventually said, yeah, the baby's fine, and I was glad. And a couple years later, I get a call for a little boy coming to visit my classroom. And I got to meet the mother and the little boy. And while I was talking to the mother, she mentioned her husband, Tony. And I was like, oh my gosh, Tony Schwartz, that was my children's youth pastor at Willow, and I couldn't believe the connection. But your mom and dad were really on top of issues that can happen from a diaphragmatic hernia, and I remember the audiologist saying, he was hearing at this visit and not at the next, and your mom and dad did everything right. And I just could not believe what a smart little guy you were at the beginning. I remember that we'd go on field trips, and Mrs. Salzman and I would say, oh, look, there's the house. Oh, and there's a cow, and there's that's a car over there. And I remember you telling me, well, it's a car, but it's an Audi because it has the Olympic symbols on it. And I was like, and Mrs. Salzman and I were like, and I'll be darned, it was an Audi. Your dad had told you that. And so I was like, the sky is the limit on vocabulary for this kid. He's not your typical student. So I remember we were somewhere and you saw a bunch of rocks and you said, well, but I got a really big rock at my house. And I thought, yeah, okay, well, whatever. I particularly remember one summer I tutored you and Devin Buck on Grandma's back porch on the river. Oh, it was a beautiful day. And I remember I was doing like a food unit, and I was telling you that there were, 3 meat groups. From a cow, we get beef, and from a pig, we get pork, and from a chicken, we get poultry. So those are the 3 meat groups to remember when you're in the store. And you said, oh, but Bedell, you forgot raccoon. And I said, raccoon? You don't eat raccoon. He goes, yeah, my dad told me Bill with a B, Bill Billies eat raccoon. And oh my gosh, I will never forget that. That was so funny. I still call him Bill Billies, but you probably pronounce it correct by now. I remember your dad was into a lot of sports, and I remember I was doing a house unit, and I said, Robbie, do you have a television at home? No, Bedell, we don't have a television. And I thought, man, that's weird because I'm sure he watches ball games, football, baseball, but I thought, oh, well. Well, I visited most kids at their homes, and I remember the first time I went to your house, I drove up, and there was a really big rock. You weren't kidding. You knew I should believe everything you say. And then I walked in the house, and there was a big television. And I said, "Look, Robbie, look over there. You said you didn't have a television. You have a television right there." And you said, "Oh, no, Bedell, that's not a television. My dad says that's a TV." So that was pretty cool. I sent some pictures, and I remember Kevin Frankie. He was a very hard to get along with student at South Elementary, and you were given the buddy with Kevin Frankie, and I need to tell you now that you did more for Kevin than he ever did for you. You really changed him, and I heard he's a professional baker now. I remember Mr. Jones, the social worker, or the psychologist or whatever he was. He came in, and it was someone's anniversary or something, and you said, "Oh, well, we need to tell them." He said, "We need to tell them congratulations, congratulations." And I said, "No, that's way too big a word. We can't go there right now." And lo and behold, you went up to somebody and shook their hand and said, "Congratulations." And you taught, I remember Devin Buck and ATN, and you got everybody saying congratulations. So I thought that was pretty neat. Well, Robbie, now I get to say congratulations to you. I'm not surprised. I knew it. You need to thank your mom and dad for doing everything right. I remember one day I drove to Deer Path to be your interpreter for summer school, and you weren't there because Riley was born that day. That was so cool, too. I remember that, and little Ellie. But a kid like you, or a young man like you, makes a career in teaching totally worth it. And I'm so, so, so proud of you. And especially because I've heard what a godly man you are, too. And I'm sure you'll influence a lot of people in your life. I'm so proud of you coming up to Wheaton. You can cheer for the Cubs with me up here this fall. Maybe we'll do it this fall. But I'm just so proud of you, Robbie, and I'm honored and I'm privileged that your parents remembered me and let me have some time to talk to you tonight and to just say how proud. I'm not proud. I'm proud. And I just, like I said, you make it all worth it. You also talked about a loud noise, and your dad would, something about a boat, and I thought you were trying to explain an echo to me. I wasn't sure. But when you guys did take me on a ride, sure enough, you screamed, and there was an echo under the bridge. And, for the issues you have with your hearing, you've just done amazing. So Lisa and Tony and Riley and Ellie, I miss you guys. I hope I can get out there again. And you have a wonderful night, Robbie Schwartz. I'm so proud of you.